guys, and welcome back to the Movie Amigos podcast. This is Gila.
I'm here too. My name is Josh.
My name is Huve.
And we're glad that you're joining us today. Today, we're going to talk about a really great movie. We're going to be talking about Alita, Battle Angel, directed by Robert Rodriguez. Starring Rosa Salazar.
A lot of people are in it.
Yeah, Christoph Waltz, Jennifer Connelly.
Yup.
Okay, I can never say his name.
Mahershala?
Yes.
Mahershala Ali.
I just didn't want to butcher it.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of other people. Oh, wait, and our favorite, Kian Johnson, who plays Hugo.
Our favorite, yeah.
But anyway, yeah, we're definitely looking forward to talking about this movie today, for sure. We just rewatched it, maybe an hour ago or so it's definitely very fresh in our minds.
Yeah, I want to say this movie was a request from our first commenter on the YouTube channel. So shout out to you, Aji. And I also want to shout out the person who played Screwhead as well for liking our post that we were doing this podcast. So every time we saw that character on screen, we were like,
she knows us.
Yeah.
She knows who we are.
So we're basically in the movie too. So shouts out.
We're actually best friends now.
Yeah.
No, we're not. If you are listening, I'm sorry.
But yeah, thanks for the like and the comment. Much appreciated.
Yes. But I mean, honestly, I think this is all of us rewatching this movie. When it was chosen, when Aji, who's the one that suggested this movie, we were all very excited because we're like, heck yes, any reason to rewatch this movie. And yeah, it was definitely a really good time rewatching this.
For sure.
What's it called? But I guess we can start with our favorite parts, and I can start mine right away.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, for me, I really like this movie, but my favorite thing about it was the fight scenes.
Yeah.
I feel like with so many movies out and about, to name a few, like Marvel, DC, I feel like sadly the awe of fighting and the scenes and all of that kind of lost a little bit of its awesomeness, I guess. But this movie does it in a way that it's like, that is so cool. You're just enjoying, you're so giddy just watching her fight, or even people fight each other, because it's just so there's no slow motion every 5 seconds, and you don't see every little detail, but you see enough that you're engaged and you're there and you're rooting for the fight. You're like, I don't know who's gonna win, I don't care, this is great to watch, I'm having the best time. So to me, my favorite part in all of this was definitely the fighting, the fight scenes, and how all of those were choreographed. I thought they were really great.
I have to say as well, the action scenes were so good. You could see and understand what was happening. You knew where the fights were happening. And also with so many different kinds of people with different powers, seeing them face off. One of them has saw blades, one of them has tentacles, the other guy has a katana. It's and the other guy has dogs. It's so diverse. It's really interesting to see, how would, it's the type of thing where it's a fifth grader being like, okay, how would a pack of dogs fare against a giant guy? It's all right, let's see. And then it plays out in the movie and really properly epic action fights scenes. So,
I agree.
I have to say, there's a couple things that I could put in my favorite parts of the movie, but it's just, for me, the world building. I love the world that the story inhabits. It's so lived in, kind of gritty, but believable. There's still there's oppression, but also hope. And it's you can tell they put a lot of thought into how the places are going to look, the city's going to look. The society reflects the structure of it, and the Great Fall, the Great Wars in the past, and the Sky Cities. Everything is just really spectacular. It's something to behold, and the they don't shy away from that either. There's a lot of effects. There's a lot of shots of the city, and I loved every moment of that.
I agree. That's ditto. That's exactly what I was gonna say. I love the realization of I wonder what it looked like in the concept phase, and how long it took to realize that, because it's beautiful, like you're saying. It's really well realized.
Yeah.
And that's definitely my favorite part as well.
Mm-hmm. I just to talk a little bit about the production of this movie. I don't know if you guys are aware of like the production of this movie, and I don't know how when I was a kid I heard about this movie being in production. I think it was because I was a fan of Spy Kids that I followed up on the director and other kind of projects that were in the works, and then I heard about this movie in production as a kid, like in the mid 2000s.
It must have been years.
Yeah, so this project was in development hell. You know, where...
Well, it was there for long enough. It came out beautifully.
You know, and that's the thing. Is like, usually when a project takes, you know, a decade, it comes out and it's trash. You know, it takes so long because people are trying to save it, and you can't save it in the edit. And then legal things or whatever, people back out of the project and it just flops. Whereas this wasn't that much of a success in the box office. It was still like... you can tell that it was passionate creators making it. Because originally it was, I think, oh my gosh.
James Cameron?
No, it was Del Toro.
Guillermo
Del Toro.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Who wanted to direct this movie, and he brought it to James Cameron.
Okay.
And then James Cameron worked on a script, and they had hundreds and hundreds of pages of the script and the concept art, and they were working on it through the 2000s. Yeah, the screenplay. And like hundreds of pages of notes and stuff. And then ultimately James Cameron got consumed by Avatar. So it was like James Cameron and his producers were looking for someone to helm the movie. And that's when Robert Rodriguez, you know, and him connected, linked up, and he was the guy for the job. And he ultimately brought the screenplay down to something manageable, you know, and took it from there into casting and the production phase, which was like, you know, a decade later from its original conception. Yeah. So it was just a lot of, and not only that, but it's adapted from a manga.
Yeah, that's true.
A 90s manga, a cyberpunk type manga. So, you know, it's like so many creative, like, sparks in there led to this.
Exactly.
Being,
I feel like,
you know, a standout for me, a knockout.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I have to say, like, if you want to go about it, like, this is how you make an adaptation of a beloved series. This manga is iconic, right? We already talked about something where it didn't work out.
Yeah.
In this case, it did, and I believe it. Yeah, I don't know, maybe because a lot of people didn't know what it was about. So then when Robert Rodriguez took over, he's like, let me just take care of it. I don't know. We don't know behind the scenes necessarily, but this was so well done. Yeah. And I feel like the director did a great job. I love Spy Kids, right? So when I heard that he was directing this and it was coming out, all the promotion, whatever, I was like, I think I'm going to like this. Because I knew I liked Spy Kids, right? And I really like this movie a lot. I think it's not just about, like, obviously the art and the concepts, and because all of that looks amazing, but also within the story and the script and the relationships and all of that, to me, was very realistic, right? Like the way the kids acted. What I mean, kids are like, what, teenagers, late teens, maybe early 20s, right? They're like young people. Like they acted like young people. And one of my favorite things, too, is how nobody in the story took the time to explain how they got there. It doesn't matter, right? Okay. Because we as audience know, we've seen all these stories before. We know how it potentially got there. Like, there's a brief mention, and that's it. Like, there's no need to waste story.
Yeah, you're right.
And explaining how he got there, because it doesn't matter. That's not the point. Yeah, of course, we're curious. Like, how did Alita get there? Like, what happened? But that's not what this story is, right?
Yeah.
If anything, this opens up for, like, a sequel, which is exciting, but there doesn't have to be one because you don't need to know what happened.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It doesn't dilly-dally too long.
Right. And actually, I really appreciate that, and I think that's what gave it room to breathe and enjoy it, because if you think about it, there's, like, a lot of antagonists, but it still did not feel, like, crowded like other movies with similar concepts.
Right.
I feel. So I feel like this movie did what a lot of movies try to do, like, especially in that type of genre of, like, action and superheroes and stuff. Not to, like, saying it, but I'm just saying it just gave it room to breathe and be fun, I guess. And that's what I liked about this movie as a rewatch as well.
Yeah, it was really fun.
What you're saying, I like what you said, that it feels lighthearted enough, even though, like you said, like Josh said, it has all these things. Like it's filled with all this world building, and it looks beautiful, and it's crowded with that. But at the same time, juxtaposed to what Hila's saying, that it's the story and the characters. There's a light enough number of them where you don't feel crowded in that aspect or respect of the movie. And going back to the directors and like the creators, I think that like you guys said, it's so great having all these hands, having them all touch the film in a certain way. Like you can feel the Guillermo del Toro, feel of the movie, just like James Cameron, and like the scope of like this big city and the grandiose like Salem, right? And then also Robert Rodriguez and like the grittiness of it. And so I think that all these three big names, this like basically film geniuses, I guess, in a way, or I guess because of the things that they've done, have like had their influence in the film, and I think that's one of the reasons why it makes it such a great film. And obviously everybody else that worked on it, but it all came like together, and it's like it's not overly like pompous. It's just very like simple, sweet, right to the point, but it also like it packs like a hard punch when it comes like, to the action.
It's great. I feel like it's easy to say that we all really like this movie. We had a lot of fun. I don't know if there's a lot of negatives. I don't think. Well, maybe Josh has one, but I personally don't have anything that I'm like, oh, that really took me out of it, or like that. That was, I feel like at that point I would be nitpicking, and I don't feel like this movie, in my opinion, I don't feel like I want to talk about something like that.
From what I was looking at like reviews and stuff, what I was seeing that people didn't like was the story itself.
Okay.
Of people who were saying that it was kind of basic, like a girl finds a power within herself to overcome adversity, like. But I disagree. I thought the story was great. I thought that it was a good enough vehicle for the effects and the grandeur of it to keep me hooked the whole time.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
Like, what is she finding within herself? Like, that she was an amazing cyborg or whatever before that. Like, she was already amazing. She just
needed to remember
her body. I guess what she found was like
her body.
Her I guess her self-worth. She had to re-find it, but she was already amazing to begin with. I guess her character was already. I think we as the audience needed to find how high of a pedestal she's already on. Which I guess is because she had to get there, but really just in her, like in the emotional side, because she's already amazing.
I think if anything, this kind of speaks more to the writing itself. How many times have we ever seen like the overpowered character is like a ginormous trope in a lot of media? And I feel like this gave service to that. Like it actually helped. This movie helped because it not just only humanized her, though. I mean, but it kind of humanized her. Be like, okay, she has feelings, she has emotions. Like she's trying to find herself, which kind of makes her relatable. Unlike a lot of overpowered characters we've seen in other places. And I feel like even as Hua was discussing it, I was like, I mean, I agree. She was already amazing, and we know she's amazing, and we are rooting for her to be amazing, but only because we were there when she couldn't remember, and we were remembering with her, and we're like, oh my gosh, you're so cool. And you're my friend.
And that's how I feel too. Like. Because like I was hooked from the very start. And from the opening, I'm super into sci-fi. I'm super into cyberpunk stuff. Like this movie hits so many check boxes for me personally that it didn't need to do much to like win me over, but it did, and I was like, perfect, great.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm not a big sci-fi person. I'm the opposite of Josh, and I still really like this movie.
Cool.
I enjoy it very, very much.
When it comes to negatives, like you guys were saying before, there's something that when I first heard about the movie, I was gonna go into the movie wanting to find this as a negative when I first saw it before. And I've mentioned to you guys, it turned out to not be a negative. And because I can't really think of a negative in the film.
Yeah.
Or one that really stands out and takes me out of the film. And I'm specifically talking about like the visual effects and how everything is like completely saturized with like visual effects and CGI. But that, I guess, it serviced the film, like Hila was saying. It serviced that everything else, like the world building, looks, I guess, computer animated, and so does Alita. And there is live action in there, but it all the way they did it. It all complements each other.
Like it fits in the same world.
Yes. And so like I don't know if it's that it's so well polished, even though it's not, because it still looks gritty. But at the same time, it didn't feel like if I'm watching like Phantom Menace. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like a product of his time, but. And this is like now.
Still though,
this is a project that's been developed for so many years.
You can tell that the directors and stuff focus a lot on the visual effects aspect of it.
Yeah,
right. And
for
so
sure.
They definitely did a great job with that. So that was something that I was looking for. That it didn't only not take me out of the movie, but it helped and it really got me even more into it.
Yeah, I remember when the trailers first came out. There was a lot of commentary of people looking at her eyes, like she looks so creepy or whatever. I disagreed from the very beginning.
I remember that.
But I feel like this is like the opposite case of, and I hate to be this guy, right?
Okay.
This guy that you're friends with, of like Sonic, like when the first Sonic, 2020 trailer came out.
Oh my gosh, that came out in 2020.
The trailer came out in 2020.
No, but the trailer for Sonic 2020. I mean. Like the trailer
for Sonic 2020, I see, for the movie, but it came out in 2019.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
But that first trailer, and people hated the design. And
yeah.
then they were like, oh, let's change the design. Like, people weren't a fan of the design, and then the directors are like, well, we've been working on this for 15 years, so, we got a vision, and then it worked out. So I like that.
Okay. But they changed it.
No, well, they changed Sonic, not Alita.
Not Alita,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like, they could have easily changed it to make her look quote unquote less creepy, but they didn't, and it works. Like they stuck to their guns to be like, nope, we're gonna do what we want.
And something that, speaking of the eyes, that actually Paul mentioned, the uncanny valley, that wouldn't have helped when it came to the uncanny valley if she had normal looking eyes. I think it helps that she has bigger eyes and she looks like an android type character, and like maybe the eyes are like something that helps her, I guess, mechanically with her fighting abilities. She needs to like
sense.
see better. So I think that helped make it feel, I guess, get it out of the uncanny valley where you're like, okay, I know she's a cyborg, even though she is still being humanized. So I'm also emotionally involved with her, even though I know she's like this amazing cyborg.
And I think, like I said, that shows more on like the writing and the way they decided to even design her, right? Because even though she's all this really strong, like she's a cute girl, she has a cute face, a cute little, she's cute as a little button. Right?
I think the size of her eyes also factors in because it being a manga originally, they wanted to translate some of that vision over.
Which they did great.
Yeah. So it's like, how do you make a manga character look live action? And that's part of it. But to me as well, the eyes make her look more expressive, and also the actress's performance completely sells it for me. Like I 1,000,000% buy that she's like a cyborg getting used to her body, learning about the world,
and like getting excited for the first time about like just basic things.
Yeah,
I think this is a great segue, Josh. I don't know who I wanted to mention anything else, but like I think when it comes to the performances, right, in this film. Definitely the girl playing Alita. Her last name's Salazar. I forgot her first name. Rosa Salazar. Okay. She was fantastic as Alita. Like, like you said, obviously everything was CGI for her, right? Everything. So, like, she sold it. Like, it was just great the way she moved, the way she talked, the way she expressed her face to show, like, emotion and confusion. And even, like, oh, my gosh, I'm eating oranges for the first time. Like, I just think she did a really fantastic job. And, I mean, I was like, wow. I feel like she made Alita more, like, interesting to watch and made her more, like, welcoming for us. I'm like, wow, like, I could be friends with her, I guess. yeah, I think she did a really good job.
I agree with that when it comes to as well with Christoph Waltz.
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention.
I think he's like the underdog of the film when
he's
it comes
so
to
gives it so much heart.
Yes, because his role is more understated, and he plays the father figure, but he does so well. But at the same time, he doesn't like overtake or overdo Rosa Salazar. Even though she's obviously like this amazing main character, and he's like the father figure. But I think and anything he's in really that I've ever seen him in, he's great.
Yeah.
But in this one, his understated performance is like, it's so great and heartwarming, and like it just feels real.
Yeah,
right.
I agree.
He feels like you said before. He lived in.
Yeah.
He feels like he's been there, and he's felt all this. He's been through all this trauma. He came from Salem, whatever, and so I think he was really great in the film.
Yeah, I think the casting overall was really, really good. When they had Mahershala Ali, Jennifer Connelly, like so many amazing actors, and like I didn't even see Mahershala Ali. Like I was looking at Vector. Like I bought it completely, and that's something that adds to that feeling of being a lived-in world and stuff, which I love that. Now, when it comes to characters, there is one guy that I'm not a super huge fan of, and it's Hugo, right? Alita's boyfriend.
Right, he has a name. Let me look up his name again.
But for me,
Kian Johnson, that's his name.
Yeah,
and this is more of like
this is
the choice of like where the character development, not really his performance.
No. I think he did great.
Because I think he did great.
His performance in itself, in that I hated Hugo.
Okay,
was good.
That's what's good about it. Okay, it's just the character
of
choices.
Hugo.
Himself
Exactly.
The character of Hugo you didn't like, but his performance itself you're fine with.
Yeah, definitely.
Before I leave, I just want to kind of briefly, because I know Josh is going to go on a huge thing. Two things. One, I actually knew this actor before when I was watching Nashville.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's in Nashville. And so when I saw him in Alita, because I didn't know he was in it, I was like, it's that guy.
Oh, cool.
And I think he did really good. And I agreed with Josh's opinion for the longest time when I first watched this. Rewatching this, I have to say, I like him now.
Oh, man.
Now I can let Josh go with his...
Okay, so listen. All right.
What's so bad about it?
About a human trafficker, all right, seducing an innocent android woman. All right.
Right.
Here, let me start my PowerPoint presentation.
Okay.
All right. 3 reasons Josh should be Alita's boyfriend instead of Hugo. All right. Number 1.
Great.
She likes chocolate. All right. She likes chocolate. I'm chocolate. Okay, so...
But Hugo showed her chocolate.
Dang it, she associates it with him forever.
Yes.
All right, reason number 2. She doesn't need a strong guy. All right, I'm a scrawny, weak guy. Perfect fit for this, super strong lady. All right.
She does like protecting her man, so...
Exactly. I'll be the sir in distress. I was going to say damsel in distress, but I'm not a damsel. I'll be the monsieur in distress. Reason number 3, I'm a biomedical engineer. Could you imagine?
That's right, you are.
Could you imagine me handling this Martian technology, bro?
That's right.
I could bring us forward. All of us win if I'm her boyfriend.
Or you can just make yourself a girlfriend.
Wow.
But all this would only happen if we lived in this world.
Dang it!
Sorry, but
dang it!
That's not the world we live in. Let's come back to reality.
Okay, all right, back in reality. Well, yeah, the whole movie, I was like, anytime I saw Hugo on screen.
I'm so sorry for taking you out of that.
His dream, he's imagining like creating new technology with Alita beside him. You're like, that's not the real world.
So yeah, when it came to their relationship, I was just bitter and angry the whole time.
Yeah,
I was just scowling at the screen anytime.
What other way? I think that it needed to happen.
Me too.
To service the story.
Me too.
Because what other way would she be introduced to all the obstacles and things that she needed to overcome?
That's true. And there's some moments that we were saying that like were pretty they were like figurative and literal at the same time. Like her handing him
her actual heart.
and that being exactly what he needed to ascend, but him
Didn't
saving
take it.
her and not taking it, even though he played into other plans. But
Right.
you know.
Okay, this is where I go. I was a anti-Hugo, and I'm a pro-Hugo now.
Oh, is that right?
Yes. When I first watched this movie, I was very annoyed with him because I'm like, he's so dumb. Like, he traffics parts, blah, blah, blah. How dare he? Look at him. He's so dumb the whole time. He was so annoying. But when I was rewatching this, I feel like, I don't know, I grew as a person.
Okay.
I grew more soft. I don't know what happened since then and now.
You learn to feel.
The Lord guided me to feel emotions again. I don't know. But when I was rewatching this, I don't know. I just understood him, right? Like, you live in a world where you're told that you're less than and you're no better unless you're up in Salem. So he wants to go to Salem. We don't know his backstory. We don't know if he's like a single, like an orphan for all we know. We don't know anything about him.
Yeah, they don't really talk about it.
Right, which, that's true. I don't think we need to. Anyway, so, and then he's already doing this when we meet him. He eventually finds this girl, android, that's like, oh, she cute, whatever, gets to know her. And I don't know, I just feel like their romance is kind of what I meant, where like it just felt real. Them liking each other, like, oh, she cute, oh, he cute. And then, like, are you free tomorrow night? And you can see, like, the giddy, like, she's so giddy about it. She's like, oh, my God, he likes me. Like, we want to go out again. And he genuinely just wants to hang out with her, and he wants to help her remember where she's coming from. Like, it's just, like, that sweetness behind their little romance. It's just, it seemed genuine. It didn't feel, like, overly forced. Right? And I just really liked how it acted because, like, of the friend that didn't like her.
Yeah.
Like, his best friend did not like her at all.
Yeah, the curly-haired guy.
Yeah, and even then that felt real. You know what I mean? I just really liked that interaction that she had with them, people her age. Like, welcome, come play with us. Like, he was just the one person that she needed there, right? Because at that point, she has a really overprotective dad for good reason. And then there's this guy, like, I'll show you this and I'll show you that, which is what I believe that who I was saying. Like,
and ultimately, he does
needed.
help her to find herself.
Exactly.
So,
and it was just
all
really sweet, like, when they have their first kiss and then, like, the literal heart thing.
Yeah.
And he could have easily been like, okay.
Yeah.
And she would have given it to him, right? But he said no. And I feel like in that moment, he realized that he messed up. And I feel like that arc that he went through, it made sense. It was like, it just kind of flowed well. And even when he was like, I mean, I guess we're going to talk about spoilers, right?
Oh, yeah.
Obviously. So I guess when he, like, was...
Yeah, I've said, like, a few already.
Yeah. So, like, when he was going to literally being followed to die, he called her, like, hey, they're trying to kill me. Can you help me out, please? Like, I don't know. I feel like he even was aware of her, and he was okay with it. It wasn't like, I'll protect you. It's more of like, I know she's stronger than me, and I'm totally cool with that. Like, I'm not here to fool anybody. I'm not kidding myself. Like, I'm just a regular human. And at the end, I was also like, she needed that loss, right? She needed that for the story, just... So it was either him or her dad. It had to be either one of those, and I'm glad it was him. He's disposable, not her father figure.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, if someone had to be there and she had to lose somebody and she had to, like, have that feeling of, like, that thing she needed to, like, I'm going to go get you, right? She needed something, and I feel like it's him. And him going bye-bye, quote, quote, bye-bye.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Is what was needed in this story, and I feel like that was done very well, and I like that.
Cool.
So I like Hugo now.
All right.
I'm a Hugo stan.
Well, then.
Also, yeah, the actor's really, really cute, so it didn't,
okay.
didn't hurt.
Well, there's that
it
too,
really
yeah.
didn't hurt. I was like...
I don't know. I was just more interested in the cyborgs themselves than the meat boys.
The meat boy.
The hard bodies.
Yeah, the hard bodies. Hard bodies are greater than meat boys in my mind, in my math.
There you are, meat boy.
But yeah, I liked a lot of the, like I said before, the cyborg designs and like their augmentations and stuff.
Yeah,
I was like such a huge fan. And then Hugo gets an augmented
right,
body himself.
He did.
I was just so salty. You know?
His was weak though.
I feel like because they just didn't have the materials for it.
But the thing is, you don't have to feel bad because
he
didn't
got
get a
he
good
got
one.
a plain vanilla.
He didn't even get a good one.
Yeah, Chappie looking.
He got the basic one.
That's true. By the
basic
way,
package.
just a quick side note. Her first body with like the beautiful designs on her arms, like the white one, I was like, that's stunning. Yeah. It was beautiful. I was like, whoever took their time to design this like this way, whoa. It was beautiful.
It was her dad, Christoph Waltz's character, I forget his name.
Yeah.
Dr. Ito?
Dr. Ito. It was for his daughter.
I know. So you see that, like, you see the love that went with him. You're like, oh my God.
The painstaking,
so beautiful.
Effort to make this beautiful thing. And then he gives it to Alita. And then it's
names
destroyed.
Her Alita.
Yeah. Names her Alita. And then it's destroyed
Alita,
ultimately.
Actually.
So
it's Alita.
So her transitioning from the previous body to the her real body is like also like her transforming, not just out of that like dainty "you're my daughter."
Yeah, there was definitely
like
a lot of that. Like,
there was
the way her clothes changed over time too.
There was a lot of that like, I'm your father and I'm trying to protect you, but I like the way they handled it. Yeah, where it wasn't to a point where he did it to an overwhelming. Yeah. Like he did it it wasn't too overwhelming the way he was doing it, and he let her have her freedom. Like he wasn't too overbearing on her. Yeah. Because he realized the potential that she had and where she comes from and like what she was. And so he definitely at the end was like, he definitely let her do her. Yeah. Instead of, trying to, because, he was trying to find his daughter again. That's basically what he was doing. That's what Jennifer Connelly's character will say, that you're trying to bring her back, but he's never going to be able to do that. But I like that he realized that like midway through. Yeah. And he, instead of that being something that deterred him or Alita's characters, right? It's something that helped them both.
Yeah. Because even Alita was like, "I'm not your daughter."
Yeah. In that part, she straight up said it, and he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah." Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually I have to agree, because I feel like if anything at that point he was like kind of already like fighting with that, like, I know she's not my kid, but like, and I feel like her saying that, but not in like a harsh way, in a very gentle understanding, like, I know you lost your daughter, but I'm not her type thing. Like you the way she said it too, because she said it with love. He was like,
that old suit, old body, I guess, is like is a new start. It's like you can make your own life here with me, and then the metal suit is like her self-realization.
Yeah, that's true. Her best self. I agree, and she still chose to stick around.
Yeah, that's true.
Because she could have left. Yeah. She could have literally be like, you know what, I want to go find more about myself, and she didn't. And I feel like that was a really nice moment. Even like the last one when they're together, when like she's about to go to the, what is it, what is that thing called?
Motorball?
Motorball? Like before everyone is like trying to kill her. Yeah. He was like, okay, here's the skates. Like, I made them for you. He's like, be careful. Like, you could tell like he's still being like that protective father figure, but at the same time he's like there supporting what she wants, even though it's crazy. Yeah. He's like, I'm sure she can handle herself. She'll be fine, but please take care. Or like, be care. Like, he's there rooting for her. Like, I don't know. It's just like he knows that's not his kid, but at the same time, it's like we need each other.
How do you guys feel about the placement of Motorball in this world? Because it's like, I know in the manga it's like a pivotal thing to the story, and also kind of in the movie too. And there's some people who didn't like it, who I talked to, that were saying that it was kind of like, like a video game side quest, right? But I feel like it fits in also.
I think it fits in the
world, advancing her
story because of what it represents.
Yeah, definitely. I think it definitely. I'm over here stuttering up. Sorry.
Don't worry about it.
It definitely fits really well, and it's integral to the story.
Yes.
Take Motorball out as not like a side thing. Take it out, and you lose like their motivation, their setting, their placement, like where they have to go, their goals. Like, you lose all that. They're like the cause and effect for anything. Like, they go there, and then he needs to strip the parts for mortal players.
Right.
So it's like it's very integral to the story.
I feel like it even fits the society they live in, right? You're talking about a society that is struggling to even, like, they have to pay repairs of their arms with oranges, right? You're talking about this type of society where their only form of entertainment is possibly this, right? Their only source of, like, I'm going to go and root for some people dying, but, you know, like, they're going to go do that. That's, like, part of, like, their moment of, like, coming together as a community. And I know I'm, like, maybe overly doing it, but, like, a lot of people, like, this is their thing, right? And like Huba mentioned, like, there wouldn't be any motive for anything if there wasn't that. Like, they just steal parts, but for what? What's the point? Their livelihood, if anything, it's motorboat. It's not motorboat.
Motorboat? Hold on. That's their everything.
Like, at the end, like, when the movie finishes, that's what she's trying to do. She's trying to get to what's the name of Edward Norton's character?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nova.
Nova.
That's what she's trying to be number one, because she's like, I'm coming for you. That's what she's telling him.
Because only the final champion.
The champion
can
goes
only
up
go up there, and even Ido. Okay, even I was having a Shyamalan experience. Even Ido was all like, you cannot, not with any money of the world, you can get there unless you're the final. So that's settled. Like, that's legit. That's her goal. So I hope they make a new one. It might take another 20 years, though.
Yeah, that's actually, now that you mentioned that, I wanted to say that that's one of my favorite things about the film, that it's that this film it's cohesively, like, a good, solid, single film.
Yeah.
But that also leaves you wanting more.
Yeah.
So they don't leave you, like, on a crazy cliffhanger.
Right.
Or, like, where that's what they leave you wanting more with. No, they leave you wanting more of, like,
the story
exactly.
and the world.
You can continue the story, and there's so much more potential that you can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
But individually, as, like, a single thing, this movie also completely works. So I thought they handled that very, very well.
I very much agree. Yeah.
Like, if it's the one single movie and they never make one again, I'm totally satisfied. I'm like, this is great. If they make more, heck yes.
Yeah.
But if they never want to again, that's okay too.
And I also hope they take their sweet time,
like they did with this one.
Like they did with this one.
Yeah.
Because if not, then it would feel rushed, or it's like, it's just a sequel, or
I have a fun fact.
What
about this movie? This was the last movie made by Fox before being bought by Disney.
That's why it's so beautiful.
Last one made by them,
or the last one to be released?
Maybe released.
Yeah, sorry,
for
released
sure,
by Fox as its own studio before being bought by Disney.
Was it this film? Are you sure?
Was it really? I don't know. Fact check us, anybody, because we don't have.
Let us know in the comments.
Let us know in the comments. I mean, I could.
What else would it be?
I don't know. I feel like this has to be other films.
Oh,
but
you mean released, right? Because the New Mutants was definitely released.
When was the merger, or when was the purchase, or the acquisition?
It was the year this movie came out.
That same year? Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm thinking this movie is older than it actually is.
This came out in 2019.
Was it 19?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then
late 2019.
You might be right.
I think it was late. Not late, mid, like summerish, right?
I just want hard proof, Josh.
I'm sorry.
But if it is the last one before it got bought by Disney, I mean, it was a great one.
Yeah.
If it's last hurrah. I mean, it's not like Fox is dead, but...
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
You know.
Kind of.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like, okay. Any last thoughts?
I highly recommend it. Highly recommend this movie. If you like sci-fi, if you don't like sci-fi, to watch with the family, to watch with your GF, Cyborg, either way.
What?
You know, what? Highly recommend.
Yeah,
a strong recommendation from me as well. It checks, like you said, all the boxes, and props to the director, props to the visual coordinators, the visual effects artists and creators, and I don't know, what do you call it? Engineers, filmmakers, everyone that works on this film. I think that it was a very solid and well done project, even though however many years it took, which I'm sure was a lot.
Yeah.
To all the actors, like, this is a really good well put together film. It's fun, enjoyable. It's lighthearted, but at the same time, like I said it before, it packs a good punch in like the action aspect of it. It has its romantic side, and yeah, like it's heartfelt, and it leaves you wanting more, but at the same time, it leaves you satisfied.
Yeah.
And nice little surprise by Edward Norton.
Yeah,
that's
Nova.
Right.
So
it didn't look like him at all either. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No,
but when he took off his glasses, I'm like, what?
Hold on.
Yeah, but the first time I saw him, I could tell. I knew it was Edward Norton.
I didn't tell. I couldn't tell. Yeah.
I really couldn't
tell. It was
either.
till the end of the movie. My first watch, I was like, wait a second, and then the credits hit or whatever. I was like,
is that?
And I do like that he wasn't like, usually in the films or roles that he's in, he's got to be like the big thing, or he makes his mark. But in this one, he's just a smile.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's like, hey, I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna chill. Maybe in the next movie.
Yeah, it's all thought out. Well thought out.
Yeah, I agree.
There was one thing before you said your final thoughts that I give props or a nod to whoever did the final cut of the film, or if this was even, and this is so small and minuscule and stupid, but when Alita walks into the arena and she puts her sword up, and that part, triumphant, and she's like, I'm coming for you. I really like that you don't see Christoph Waltz or like any of her friends in the audience.
Yeah.
This movie, I feel like this movie cuts a lot of the fat out.
Absolutely.
And it leaves no room for like these little stupid things. And I like that it's just, at the end, it was just like about her. And thinking about it, it's like, I'm glad they didn't cut to him in the audience, like clapping and like applauding or celebrating. Or like his friend, his nurse friend, or his assistant. Or like maybe the girl who plays Jubilee, she's still alive, I think.
Yeah. Or,
she's screaming her man.
Hugo in a junkyard.
Yeah, exactly. Hugo in a junkyard, like saying, I'm still alive. But,
why did I picture that?
But yeah, I like that. That's one of the things that this movie gets right to the point.
Yeah.
And, they cut the fat out.
Yeah, I actually, jumping off of that for my final thoughts, I agree. I think it, like, even like the story and everything was just so concise. Boom, boom. Like, hit each point that needed to be hit, story-wise speaking, but also did it in a way that it flowed well. It was good. Like, there wasn't anything extra. And I agree. I think that's what allowed it to be light and fun and breathable, but also have those, like, harsh and strong moments where you're like, man, I felt that. Like, I feel that for you type thing. So I thought it was really good. And then, like, just all of that, and then the decisions that each character made sense to me. It wasn't out of character. So it's little things like that I feel like at this point, like, we talked great things about it. But it's also, like, in the little things, like the details, and not just in the acting and the visual effects, but also, like, in the writing and just the little nitpicks over there, like, of good things. But yeah, I really like this movie. Like I said, I'm not a big sci-fi person. Like, I'm the opposite of that. And yet, I love this movie. It's so fun. Like, this is a world I would love to be a part of. And I don't say that much because I like my world.
Yeah.
I like normal reality. Like, my favorite is, like, period dramas, right? I like the simplicity of life. But this is awesome. And I'm like, I kind of wish I lived in that world. And I also, this is really random, just to kind of end this. I liked that the people that live in this world don't feel bad for themselves. And other, like, dystopian post-world stories, they're all like, we are so poor.
Yeah.
Our life sucks. Oh my gosh, we need someone to save us.
Yeah.
And this one, it's more like, look, this is what life gave us. Like, I'm not going to here to complain. I'm going to hustle every day. I do what I'm going to do. I'm going to live my life. This is what life dealt me. Yeah, it sucks, but I'm going to deal with it.
Yeah.
I just felt like that was so much more realistic, and it kind of made Alita's motivation. She's not a savior for anybody. She's here because this is personal. This is a personal thing. I don't care. Not that she doesn't care, but, like, it's not about saving the world or, like, saving the innocent. It's, like, literally, like, I know we got some business going.
Yeah.
We need to figure this out. And that, to me, I feel like that just makes it even more cool.
Yeah.
Because it's like a personal journey. It's not about saving the world. It's like, we already had a war. Like, you know, what else is going to happen?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like that a lot. That there was nothing of, like, poor me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like, no. And I really like that. Overall, it's a great movie. Highly recommend it. Definitely a time to spend having a good time by yourself or with family. And thank you, Aji, again for recommending this. We're gonna definitely take up more episodes of choices by people that commented or people that follow us. So definitely keep an eye out. Eventually, maybe we'll open some suggestions. I'll be like, hey, let us know what you want to watch, and maybe we'll pick something you'd want. Whatever it may be. We're not picky here. That reminds me,
we're looking to get onto Spotify and other wherever you get your podcasts. So you might be listening to us on one of those platforms right now, but make sure to follow us and subscribe.
Subscribe, do all the great things. Follow us on Instagram because that's where most of the updates will happen.
Likewise, yeah. On YouTube too, we got some clips and stuff going on.
Yeah, those are the best, by the way.
Clips are great. Definitely.
They're so good.
If you guys want a fun time, watch the clips and then send them to somebody you think you'd like the clips because they're so funny.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
I think Josh
is the one that edits them.
I have a ball editing them. I love editing them.
Oh, they're so great. So yeah, guys, definitely share those clips. They're really, really funny. I love them. They're awesome. Josh is great at what he does.
Hey, it's a fun podcast, so.
Anyway, I think we're good. Definitely high recommend from us, and we look forward to see what else comes next. I know we're gonna be having some fun episodes, so keep definitely an eye out for these coming up as time passes.
For sure.
Anyway, I think that's it. We're good. All right. Thank you again, everybody. Have a great, fantastic day.
God bless.
And yeah, God bless you, and have a great rest of your afternoon, week, morning. I don't know what time you're listening to this. All right. Bye. Bye. Hello? It's a recording. That was good.